Seek clarity over motivation. Clarity is something that actually sticks around and only continues to be refined and improve. Motivation is a fleeting emotion that comes and goes and is often not there when you really need it. I've always said that motivation is a terrible wingman. It's like, okay, it's like you're at a bar and motivation is your friend that's like, hey, go talk to that chick. I'll be right here with you. And then you go up to her and you turn around and motivation is running out the door. To put it in a fitness context, how often have you on a Sunday night gone, tomorrow's the day, I'm gonna go for my run, and then Monday morning you're like, pfft. So it makes sense logically, even from that standpoint, to seek something that doesn't do that to you. Clarity is that thing and only continues to compound over time. Well, then the question becomes, how do you seek clarity? Like, what does that even mean? First, I want to share a quote from Tim Grover, and then I have 2 tactical steps for you that's helped me. Tim Grover he's notorious for coaching Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. He's now an author and a speaker. He has 2 books, one's called Winning and one's called Relentless. He said, motivation is for those that don't know what they want. Think about that. I don't know what I want, because think about something that you really wanted in life. A car, a relationship, a job, and you were hungry and you felt deprived without it. And so you made so many sacrifices to get that thing, like nothing was gonna stop you. I know you've had moments like that before. Maybe it's been a long time, but I know you've had them. You didn't need motivation then, because you were clear on what you wanted, you were clear on what it took, and when you were confronted with the fact that it was gonna take more work and take longer and it was gonna be harder than you thought, your clarity took you through those times. It took you through times that motivation wouldn't. So 2 steps to how to get more clear. Number 1, and this is gonna seem really obvious, but it's still something that we don't do often enough. Write down what it is you really want, because it's just you and the piece of paper. If you're just trying to tell someone, we a lot of times will put this societal filter and say things in a certain way that might be more palatable, acceptable, withhold things that might not. Whereas when it's just you and the pen and paper, you can just turn the faucet on and spew it out. And if you've never done that before, or you haven't done it in a long time, I promise you that's one of the things that's missing if you feel like you're lacking clarity. Write down. And you can even categorize it if it helps. What do you want out of your relationships? What do you want out of your faith? What do you want out of your fitness, your career, your finances, your possessions, whatever it is? Write down what you want, because maybe you haven't even done that. Maybe you haven't even been honest with yourself on what you really want, because you're not sure how it's going to be accepted. Again, it's just you and the pen and paper. And then as you write, and it may be sloppy in the beginning, I used to let that discourage me, and then I'd stop writing. Just turn it on. You're not writing a high school paper here. Don't worry about how it sounds, what it looks like, how sloppy your handwriting is, how disorganized your thoughts. Get it out, because then you can turn the page, and now you have some context, and you can start refining it and write even more, and start like pulling things from that page of spew. Then here's the second thing, because that helps in the beginning. You get more clear. But then life has a way of pushing that stuff to the back, right? We get busy at work, whatever happens. Then we make it a daily habit to read those things, to think about those things that you want, to listen to music that unearths that emotion that we tend to stuff down so easily, to read quotes, to read scripture, whatever it takes, some kind of daily, just momentary process that keeps it at the front of our minds. I use Rocky a lot just because it always comes to mind, but in the first Rocky movie, he's poor, he's kind of feels like a bum because he's taking these low-level fights for peanuts, He has his deprivation right in front of him. And there's one scene that comes to mind right now. He's looking in the mirror by himself in his apartment, in his crappy apartment, and he sees a picture of himself, his younger self. And for whatever reason, it clearly upsets him. Do you do that? Do you keep those things in the front of your mind that make you feel a little upset, that make you feel a little angry, that make you want to go out and smash towards that goal? Because if you don't, I can promise you, you'll be like everyone else and just kind of fall by the wayside, and you'll be just desperately searching for that motivation dose. Don't be that person. Be different. We're different here. So write it down as many times as it takes. Make that a daily practice. Because writing it down may not even be a one-time thing. It may need to be a multiple-time thing, weeks long thing. But if it gets you to that clarity that you're lacking, it's worth it. And then make it a point every single day to think on those things, to read them out loud, to listen to certain music, whatever it takes, to keep it at the front of your mind. Seek clarity, not motivation.